just to kind of justify some of the moves that I made. And then the next page is the budget she proposed, which was like a $19,000 increase overall, including her salary increase that she wanted, and then taking the other people to, or one of the, Randy to full-time, and of course, you know, when you do that, you have to add benefits and everything else.
But I talked to Hershey and I talked to some more county. There's some county big us only got one full-time and two part-time person. Average $2 a month. I can't see having another full-time person. How you gonna cover when somebody is out? You know, when you got 3 people working, you can cover the place. When you only gonna have 2 full-time, they gonna work Monday through Friday.
No, I think her proposal was to keep the part-time and put Brandy full-time. That's what her proposal was.
I talked to Hershey, said we need to keep 2 part-time and a full-time.
Okay. One thing I found there that I told her I didn't agree with, she went down in her gasoline.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not gonna work, cause it's going up.
It'll go back up.
That's for sure. This other grant, she had put up a $800 increase. That's really ineffective too, because we don't know what grants we're gonna get. So really, I told her that all stay the same, because we don't even know, we might get 40,000, we might get 1,000. So that's something I didn't understand. And then the veterinary services, she also went up 1,200 in that. And I told her, you know.
But she already, if you look at a veterinary bill, she already almost spent most of that money already this year.
Yeah.
On veterinary, taking animal by being treated. For what, I don't know.
But that's a wash. Most of it's
Most
paid
of it gets
for.
paid
Yeah,
back.
so it's actually technically not even in her budget, because it's money that they pay us
I
to do it, but
understand,
we show
but
it.
she already close to over at $6,000,
Yeah.
what I have seen on the budget.
So I got different scenarios here that I worked up. Like I said, I did talk to Terry about it and make sure that what I was looking at I could actually do, because I didn't want to do something that was wrong. As you can see, we've got different scenarios here. The first one that I looked at is the one that has the $12,112 increase. I don't know if that's the next page or, yeah, all right, okay, it's in bold on yours. What I did, I took out, or basically put her a $3,458 raise, which would put her up to $27,000, which is not the 31 some odd that she wanted, but it would put her up to $27,000. And I left Brandy and them Brandy at full time, which basically increased the budget by $112, and we took out $1,700 out of the money that she had to spend and usually doesn't spend. That's one scenario.
Well, the money she don't spend in the year go back to general fund. You just can't move that money up into salary.
Well, Terry told me I could.
No, Terry told you wrong.
Okay, well, I
You
thought
can't
he's
move
chairman
that
of the
money.
budget and finance, but
Go
anyway.
talk to Linda then. You can't move money up into salary.
Okay. He said you could, as long as it wasn't already in salary. He said you can move money anywhere around in the budget, as long as it's not locked into salary or benefits.
This money gotta be approved before court to move her salary up.
Correct, that's what we're talking about right now. All right, the next one that I did, which I actually like a little bit better, is the one that has the 58 increase overall. And I took out $1,800 out of those funds there that you see, those line items, and basically, just basically brought her up to what she was asking, 31.2 as a director, and didn't put Brandy full-time. Left everything just like it was. That's a total increase of $5,800, you know, over last year's budget. That's another one. Then the last one, so kind of the same moves, except I put in a $5,000 raise, which would get her at $28,542, which probably would still be one of the lower paid directors. And took $1,850 out of some of the funds that we normally have excess in, and that's a $3,385 increase over last year's budget. And that's just the ones that I come up with, and like I said, there may be better ones, but my goal was to see if I could get her up to where she's at least close to what most directors are making without affecting our overall budget. And I justified it by looking at where she was at right now and what she had left in each of those funds that I moved the money around, you know, and that's how I justified it. And like I said, I didn't do this until I called Terry and talked to him and asked him for sure what I could or couldn't do. Because I told him, I said, I don't wanna mess it up. I don't wanna do something that's wrong, get up there and find out I've been working in the wrong direction. And if it's not possible, then I don't wanna do it. But, you know, I told Kim, in my opinion, like you said, I don't see her getting a substantial raise and pulling somebody up full-time. I said, I don't see that happening. That's a large increase.
Right.
But what I wanted to try to do is at least get her as much as I could and get her up there to where she's at least close to most directors. Because she, you know, as me and Terry talked, she does have more responsibilities now that she's gonna be applying for these grants, trying to get those approved, just like the first one. And then also, our adoption rate, which is what we, you know, brag about quite a bit, that takes a lot of responsibility. She's there sometimes, obviously after hours, loading up the rescue vans, and then sometimes, you know, she does get called after hours, obviously. There's things that we don't, you know, that she don't
Dogs
get.
get run over on County Road.
But she's salary, she getting paid when she's sick, when she ain't working, she getting paid.
You gotta figure it about $13.71 an hour.
But Terry, your director want more money on ambulance.
Yep.
And he got how many people?
32,
How many
27.
people you got, Steve? She got 3.
But how many, I mean, now I can understand, the EMT and them, I can understand that's dangerous. But she goes out, she's already been bid.
I understand that, she did have a gun that day, neither.
But it doesn't matter, when somebody calls me, and they did, they called Friday, want me to have her to go out to Smart to look at an animal. I'm concerned about her. I mean, it's a position that, it's got a little bit of a risk to it. And to pay them a lot less than other directors, I mean, I understand seniority, I understand that, believe me. But it's just, I don't, it's not apples to apples. I mean, you can't, just because she only has 2 people under her.
I can tell you one problem we got. What I found out, when she get a call, nobody know where she's at. Now, I've been talking to Chuck out the 911, because we had the same problem when I was chairman, policy and personnel with the judicial commission. When they got a call, say, go out there. Well, when they got to the jail, 911 didn't know what it was. When they got to the jail, they had to call back. Tell 911 they was at the jail, and when they left the jail, they had to tell 911, I'm leaving the jail. We knew about where they was, okay. Other week, I was out there on a Friday, it was about 2 o'clock maybe, when I'm there. Everybody gone, nobody know where she at. She don't call 911 when she go someplace. Only time 911 know where she's at, when the deputy call her and say, need to go to Smart Station. That's the only time at this certain address. It's the only time we know where she's at. But she just get a regular phone call. She don't tell nobody where she's at.
Well, I think for her,
She get up there somewhere, her cell phone don't work, or the radio don't work. Nobody know where she's at. And that's, to me, is a big safety thing.
it is. The codes officer over here, he has got where if he gets a call to go to a certain place, he lets 911 know where he's going and lets them know when he gets there, so that there'll be a record if something must happen to him, so that they'll know where to look for him.
That
If
needs to be
he doesn't
required.
report when he leaves, they know there's something wrong.
Right.
So I don't think that's a bad idea.
That needs to be a requirement this day and time anyway. So
Yeah, it's the world we live in now.
we'll,
Yep,
I think we need to, tell her to.
But I've been talking to Chuck out there.
The non-emergency number, and just let them know when she goes
So the 911 center, we've got a record of, you know, we've got, anytime anybody calls in, so that needs to be, go ahead and take care of that.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not no more of a workload.
Do we need a motion on that?
Rita made a motion, put it in the minute that she was, every call she go on now, she got a call 911, but I'll go up there and talk to Chuck, get it in motion, but I've been talking to him.
It was my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that all employees get the same amount, all county employees supposed to receive the same amount of raise
Right.
across
For
the
the
board.
most part, unless there's circumstances, as happened recently with judicial commissioners, things like that, yes, you're correct. But they do adjust the salaries and have the last few years for certain departments because the pay wasn't attractive or whatever the word you want to use, basically, couldn't get people to apply for it. So,
I got some more asked about on that just a minute. Okay. Who's that?
Motion, all in favor? Say a little something about like, when the sheriff called, say she need, gotta go to next, somebody address, they got a record, where she went.
There's been a few times when I've called him when there's a situation that I would tell her to go ahead and have a deputy go with her. And I'll tell you what, it really means a lot more when a deputy drives up with her.
yeah.
It just puts more bite into it.
I mean, all she got to do is call 626-7000.
Right.
And it's still recorded line, it's still, information still tough, and it's not an emergency line.
I mean, you reach know where she's at,
I agree. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, if she, when she leaves, you need to tell them she's leaving, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Something I wanted to ask about, we talked about last year, every employee got a 50-cent raise on the hour. Kim last year was making, it was $23,050. All right, hers went up $23,542. 50 cents an hour on the 2,000 hour year should have been about $1,000. Why did hers not go up as much as the others?
I think it's more than 1,000 hours, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
it's 1,080 or something like that. So that's just a round number.
yeah.
But I was just wondering why that hers was only a little over $500.
We've been trying for years to, and it has, her salary has moved up. Sometimes, more than what everybody else has in order to adjust it. It's just, we never got it where it was, where we could actually say that it was what it needed to be, and it's just we keep kicking the can around and.
Okay. 13-14, I severed $21,962. Okay, 14-15, I severed was $23,002. She got an increase.
She did,
She's
she
probably-
did.
$540,
Huh?
just $540 though.
Yeah.
It should have been 1,040, is that what you
Well,
said?
14-15, it was
$23,000.
23,000, I don't know why she didn't get the whole $1,000. If they gave her about $1,000, or did they just give her about 500? I got to look on the budget.
I looked at those numbers last night, and man, I mean, the way I did, add them together and dividing the two and decrease some here and there, and I didn't come up with much different than what you did. But I admire the work that you've done on that. All I worked on was on her salary, but
Well, and here's what I was told. I was told that if we could pay for some of the raise, it would be better, because it's just common sense. I hate to use that slogan, but it's common sense that if you can use the money you've already got, you have to ask for less. And that's the approach I took. I mean, realistically, all I could pull was around 1,800 though, and then, because I didn't want to cut her, and I had to ask her, can you really make it on this? You know your budget, you're a manager, you're supposed to know what you're doing. Can you make it with it without this amount of money? And that's how I made the decision. And basically, 1,800 is about as much you can pull without taking a chance of breaking even, in other words. And I know that we're gonna break even, because we know what usually happens. We'll wind up, if we've got anything left over, we'll say this door needs to be replaced or whatever.
Well, I want to make a motion, we accept her budget, the budget was $3,385.
I got a question for you, accept, have you talked to the director down there? Terry not to oversee the whole budget, did you talk to Linda?
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying, Linda wanna punch the numbers in, not Terry. And you need to talk to Linda first.
well, I don't see what's wrong with us making a motion, and then I can send it to her and ask her to look over and see if it looks all right.
Now, I'll finish my motion. I make a motion, we accept the $3,385 increase if it's approvable through, the accounting office, that we can do it like that.
One second.
this is gonna be a long motion. Motion. Which page we gonna call this right here?
It's the $3,385,
3385 increase.
the modification to her budget.
Motion passed, 3385 increase to be considered by financial director before going to budget and finance.
We would get, Linda in here, but she left. I think she does a good job in what she does. She works hard for it, and as I've made statements before, it's an underpaid job anyway.
The thing is, y'all two been on that committee for 8 years.
That's right.
You never really put her up.
We tried,
Huh?
we tried.
And honestly, I've been on the committee for 13 years.
Well, but you never put her up too, right?
Okay. Motion to ask for the 3385 increase to be considered by budget director before going to budget and finance.
Correct.
Made by Boyd. Second by Wilcher. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
4-1.
I want to make a note too that this budget here, under the part-time, they would only expect whatever everybody else got. There's no mention of an increase in here.
Part-time could only,
Then we have to withdraw that motion and make that motion back.
And add that. Okay. You won't have to write all that. You just-
you just mark that out and just add that to it.
Yes.
And part-time,
Employee receives, same across the board budget or raise, everybody, other county employees receive.
You put that in form of a motion? I'll second it again.
all right. Motion to ask for the $3,385 increase to be considered by the budget director before going to the budget and finance. Made by Mr. Boyd, seconded by Mr. Wilcher. Only let's mark that part out. Right there. Going to budget and finance, and part-time employees, the same raises as other employees should receive. Okay, and made by Mr. Boyd. Okay, we need to vote again?
All in favor? No.
And one other thing before we end this, I wanna make sure, I've been told to several people that I'm gonna, I'm gonna be there this time at the budget and finance meeting when they talk about budgets, and I hope everybody else will too that wants her to get this raise. Because I've been told that can matter a lot as far as, you're pushing for the people that are part of your committee. And in case they have a question as to why, who would justify it other than the committee, So, I just wanna give her the best shot that I can. And we can.
Well, I'm gonna give everybody the best shot. Everybody deserves the same amount of money. If you're gonna give one $3,000, they all need $3,000. That's my opinion.
Well, when it started off years ago, low income job because somebody already had a supplemental income, that's a mistake.
Yeah. And I'll mention also on the signs, I've got, one sign and the other one's coming, and that's what they look like. I've actually, Dad made a frame for it, and I'm gonna put plexiglass over it so it won't get vandalized easy. And then the one that's out on the road, the large one, that's hand painted, we've had, 2 people donate to have it re-hand painted with the new logo. So we actually have 3 signs. They'll all look like this, the one on the road will have that, and then, of course, you have one on the post going in at the gate, and one on the building. So, the person that's gonna do the sign painting, he donated half of his salary to do it, and then we had, Hawk that's gonna pay the other half.
That was their fundraising goal.
I don't know, I know they're paying for half of that sign, that's all I know, must be going pretty good.
Motion to adjourn. Any other business? Hold up.
I'll be brief. I know y'all got more stuff going on, but my name is John Cunningham. I work in outreach and prevention for Centerstone. Are y'all familiar with Centerstone and all? I'm not sure. Overall, it's a mental health care agency. Also do medical clinics as well that they have, like I got my TB shot through work.